Hello, my name is Diego from the Hit Music Studio, and in this video, I would like to get you guys to be able to play the song Lil Bit by Florida Georgia Line and Nelly. And this is a great song to talk a little bit about finger picking, and at the same time, a couple of other techniques that I would like to show you. The main thing about my tutorials, I try to give you practice tips so you can be successful into putting this together. Because the notes, anyone can show you the notes, and I'm sure there's a lot of people with tutorials, but to me, I try to make these tutorials so my students can have a framework of how to practice this, so they are successful at playing it. Let's talk about the right hand first. I want you to try to practice first playing the fifth string down with your thumb, and your middle finger, you're gonna use it for your second finger. So you're gonna be doing almost going down with your thumb and up with your middle finger. You can do that with open strings 5 and 2. And in the whole riff, we're gonna be playing only strings 5 and 2. So it is very important. I would not be doing that with other fingers. I think that's what works the best for this song. So if you need to, do that pattern multiple times, 5 and 2, just to get familiar with it. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start fretting the first note, which is gonna be a 7 on the 5th string, which is this note. Now, the two main positions that I wanna show you are gonna be like this. That's gonna be 7 and 8. That's gonna be 7 on the 5th string and 8 on the 2nd string. And think of that as, let's say, position 1 for this song. And we're also going to be doing something that is going to look like this, which is going to be almost, let's say, position 2, and you're going to do that in multiple places. This is going to be, in this case, is 10 and 12. But almost keep in mind that this position, the one that I'm doing now, I'm going to be moving into two other places on the guitar, down here and down here. When you move, try not to like lift, just slide it down. So when we move this position, which I'll show you in a second, try to, when you move positions, slide them down without lifting your fingers. That's gonna make it easier. So let me play the first group of notes that I think you should practice, which would be 7, 8, 8. Leave a gap there, then slide 7 into 10 and do 2 12s. So with a little bit more rhythm, sounds like this. 3, 4. Now there I have a slide. I'm doing 7 and without plucking it again, just sliding into 10. And then 2 12s with my pinky. So again, that I think is a perfect place to just do that for a little bit, 5, 10, 20 times if you need to. 3, 4. And get very familiar. You can repeat it if you need to. Now, once you have that, the next is a little bit of an effect. And I think when it comes to effects, it's almost like if you slow it down, it sounds different. I don't think it's super important to spend tons of time on this. I'll show you, I guess, my best idea how to do it. It is this. I will do it with the pinky. It's a 12, 13, and back to 12. So it sounds a little bit like a slide into those notes. So 12, 13, 12. Now you have to plug the note, and while you're squeezing it, move your finger around. And I think it's a little bit easier to do it with the pinky because it gives a little bit better placement for your thumb. Make sure when you're doing this that your thumb is on the back of the guitar. So once you play it, and I'll play the first pattern. So 3, 4, 3. So that little effect goes right after you do the 7, sorry, then, and then we're gonna slide into 3, 5, 5, which it's technically the same almost like position, but you slide it all the way down to do 3 and 5. So I will practice maybe doing the little slide of 12, 13, 12, and then go into. Now, let me show you the second batch of notes that I think you should practice. So once you have it, I would say it's almost, to me, this can be divided into two main riffs. So 3, 4, and only practice that. Once you have it, let's talk about the second one. The second one will be 3, 5, 5. Then we're gonna do 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 7, and then 5, 7. So there's a couple of slides there. I think it's good to go slowly. 3, 4. Now, after I do this note, which is going to be a 7, that is the beginning again. So it's almost like that it's gonna almost meld into itself or loop into itself. So I think it's good to take the second pattern, 3, 4, get there, I start again technically. So hopefully that is a great way of thinking about this type of songs and riffs, because there's no rule that you should practice the whole thing. It actually doesn't make any sense. And when I see it with my students, it's almost like they try to go through the whole thing, but there's like little bits and pieces that are almost like not cooked yet. So you don't want to do that. You want to take something that is giving you trouble and take it and practice it again. For example, if you need to do this and just do that, get a little bit familiar with it. That's okay. If you need to do that 30, 40 times, you can do that in a row, and then maybe take a little bit of the next chunk and start stitching it together, putting it together so you can be successful. So hopefully with this practice tips, you are going to be one of the students or one of the people that we have that can play this fun little pattern, fun little riff in a song that I think also really reflects what's going on in guitar when you play this type of music. So as these patterns, you are going to be using them a lot, so it's good to get all ready to know them. And I also really think that it's valuable to be able to play with your fingers. We do recommend beginners to start with a pick, but playing with your fingers is a very cool ability to also include. Hopefully that was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of the content that we put out here. And at the same time, we'll see you guys on the next one. If you want more information about what we do, check our main website, thehitmusicstudio.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.